Hello and welcome to another episode of New Casuals. Yay! Okay, so far it looks like I'm getting steady. I don't want to jinx it, but welcome to another episode on the podcast. My name is Yinka. Since the beginning of this year, I've been releasing content that has to do with Sweden. So if you're probably a good listener of the podcast and you're not interested in anything that has to do with Sweden, this episode is for you. And if you're interested in anything that has to do with Sweden and you still want to hear what I still have to talk about, this episode is for you. Okay, so welcome to the episode on today's podcast. Today I'll be talking about, I have my other phone here and I already wrote down things I want to talk about. So today I'll be talking about starting the year tired. Yesterday I went out with some friends, and during the course of our chat and everything, I started thinking about this particular thing. Just kept on nagging me in my mind, and it had to do with me saying I want my own. I would think about certain things in my head and I'll be like, oh, I want my own, I want my own. Think about whatever it is. Like, I'm thinking about it now, like my eyes are getting teary. And I'll be like, oh, I want my own. Like, I want my own. I just kept on thinking about different things. And the things I thought about made me start saying, okay, I want my own. I want to experience this. I want to have that. And it's not from the place of being greedy. It's just from a place of saying, I really want this. I want to experience this. I want to have this. And the more, even though I was among friends, this thought just became so crippling. And I remember when I was coming back home on the tram, I just had to comfort myself, and I went to the scriptures and I just read a particular verse in the Bible to just comfort myself. And then when I got home, before I went to bed, I just spoke about it to God. And then this morning I started thinking about starting the year tired. And for as many of you, that I've already started this year, some people are yet to start. Some people probably start in February, but whenever you decide to start, people ask the questions, what are your goals for this year? What are your expectations for this year? What are the things that you're looking to achieve this year? And for a lot of people, they will be like, oh, you've been having carryover goals from last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is. I also have some carryover goals. Things that I wanted to achieve last year, things that I wanted to achieve years before, and I still see myself bringing those dreams, those goals, those expectations into the new year, hoping and praying that, okay, maybe this is the time it will happen. Maybe this is when it will finally happen for me. This is when I will get to seal that deal. Maybe this is the time I would, sign that contract. Whatever it is, you just we have some carryover goals. And if you're lucky enough and you don't have carryover goals, well, good for you. But what I'm trying to say is that, a lot of times when we think about these things, like I was thinking about it yesterday, saying, I want to have my own, it's not like these thoughts are not good. They can be very, very crippling, And even if we look at it in terms of faith, I was listening to my pastor this morning, and he was saying something that, sometimes when you are waiting on God about something, when your faith becomes crippled when you've waited for a very, very long time and it has not happened. And so when you meet someone and they pray along with you and they believe God with you for something, there's every tendency for you to be like, oh, I could prayed last year and it did not happen. People been praying about this thing. I have things like that also in my life. I'm not like, I have things that, there are things like maybe I've been praying about, and then when I pray about it again, sometimes this thought just comes into my head like, from top, you have been praying about this thing for a long time. Is it going to happen? And I struggle with those thoughts, and I tend to remove those thoughts from my mind, delete them, and I just focus on the prayer and hold on to my faith and all of that. So basically, starting the year tired. how do we start the year tired? We start the year tired by worrying about all of these things. If you've been following the podcast so far, or like during the course of this episode rather, you would see that all of the things I mentioned has to do with worry. The place of worrying about, when will this happen for me? When will this thing happen? When will I do this? When will I do that? When will I travel? When will I get married? When will I get that job? When will I get that contract? When will I have a baby? When will I, whatever it is, and it's not a bad idea to have this question, but like I said, it could get to a place where you become tired, particularly when you begin to think about it. 1, 2, particularly when these things that you are asking about are things that you've been trusting to happen for you for a very, very long time. And so I've discovered that it's possible to start the year tired. And for me, because I kept on thinking about that question, like, oh, I want my own, I started getting tired. I just, the more I thought about it, I just started getting depressed. I just started thinking, oh my God, and the more I thought about different areas of my life, about when will this particular thing happen for me, the more I started thinking about how long I have been waiting for these things to happen and how they haven't yet happened. And it was such a crippling experience for me. And I just want to share with you guys, try not to start the year tired. And how do you not start the year tired? By not worrying, because at the end of the day, worrying does not solve anything, and worrying does not, how did I put it here? Worry does not stop anything. And is it too early to start worrying? People ask the question, okay, if you're saying I shouldn't get worried so that the fear of whatever it is does not cripple me, when is it okay to start worrying? I cannot tell you, okay, it's okay to start worrying now, or it's not okay to start worrying now. It's your choice, but worrying, it's not a good thing. I'm also talking to myself. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't make anything better. You get my point? Rather than worrying, just keep moving. And one thing I've discovered anyway is that one of the ways for to start the year tired, by thinking about all of these things, is to direct your energy to something else. Like that energy, I'm talking to myself, to Luaimika, that energy that you are using, that I'm using to worry about this thing that I do not have control over, because I'm doing my best. Let's take for instance, for a job right now, I'm worrying that, okay, when will this job come true for me? I've been applying for jobs. I want a career job. When will I get the communication job, the marketing agency job? And I don't just want any kind of job. I want a job that comes with a work permit, that gives me a sponsorship visa, relocation package, and all of those things. So I worry about things like that. So I'm saying, instead of me worrying, I can direct my energy to something else. Of course, I'm applying for jobs. Of course, I'm speaking to people. Of course, I'm telling people. But instead of me worrying about when will this thing happen, I can direct my energy to other things, see how I can help somebody else, see what I can do to improve somebody's life. Just direct your energy to something else. Apply for more jobs if you have to. Apply for 100 and more if you have to, or if I have to, whatever it is, and just keep at it, So focus your energy on something else. It's very, very important, And another thing is, to ask the right kind of questions. There are some things that we worry about and we cannot necessarily help ourselves, but just ask yourself the right kind of question. This thing I'm worrying about now, will this worry solve it? No. This thing I'm worrying about now, is there something I can do to improve the situation of whatever it is? If there's something that you can do to improve the situation, then of course go ahead and do it. But probably there's nothing that you can do to improve whatever it is that you're worrying about, then maybe it's always best not to worry. This year my goal is to live my best life as much as I can. I would not lie, I worry a lot. I think about different things, and My goal this year is to try to reduce that as much as I can and trust God as much as I can. And that's what I want to tell you guys to do to this year. I know that you've set your goals. I know that you've written your resolutions. I know that in previous years there are times that you did not meet those expectations, you did not meet those resolutions, you dumped them, maybe due to whatever reasons. This is not the time to beat yourself up about it, and this is not the time to wallow in the fact that, oh, I've been hoping that this thing would happen or would have happened and does not yet happen, so why should I still keep trusting like it's not, because those thoughts cripples and it makes us start the year slow. The kind of pace that you're meant to keep on moving, you're not able to do that. And I just want to remind you guys today and remind myself, worry is one of the major factors. Worry and fear is one of the major factors that that makes us start the year slow, particularly when we think about everything that has happened in our past, and particularly failures, things that, failed expectations, disappointments. When we think about all of these things, when we dwell on all of these things, it makes us to start the year slow. And I'm hoping we do not do that. I'm hoping that we keep up the pace. For somebody like me, this podcast serves as a reminder for me to not dwell on all of these things and just remember how fabulous I am, how authentic I am in myself, and to just keep on pushing, knowing that everything is going to be all right in the end. There's something I would always say: God takes care of me. And this year, I want to rest on that more, trusting that God would definitely take care of me. And I hope that you guys do that too, in the course of the year, as you face different challenges, as you get, your successes, your wins. I hope that you just rest on the fact that God will take care of you and not allow the disappointment or whatever it is that is of the past, basically of the past, to limit you or to slow you down. I want you to go into this year and do awesome things and be fast and move at your own pace and just do you, because I cannot wait to celebrate you guys. I hope when you listen to this episode, it makes so much sense to you. I hope when you listen to this episode, it resonates so much with you. I hope when you listen to this episode, you make up your mind that you're going to just go ahead and just live your authentic lives. I hope when you listen to this episode that you decide that nothing is going to make you start your year slow. And if peradventure your year has already started slow, I hope you pick up pace and just forge ahead and continue being who you are. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode. See you guys again next time. Bye. Cheers.